Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? Market wasn't good. But, if you're positive like I am, you did your own research, you know your entries and exits, and you're absolutely investing deliberately. What did I invest in? Some would say I'm conceited over this. I invested in myself. What? Yeah. How? I was working on code. I have fun working, doing the work that I do, right? Consulting clients, working on code, just working on solutions. It was just fun. It was a really, really, really productive day, like crazy productive. So then what had happened was, is that computer on? I guess so. I'll check. I started going through the news and I came up with a question. Good question for today. What tokenized stocks platform just smashed $25 billion in just 8 months in transactions? BitGet, Ondo, Alpaca. If it's other, you know what to do. My man, Rick Ritchie. What's up? Thank you for letting us know you invested in yourself. So I found that to be interesting. And then I kept pouring through. And I came across CME Group is planning on launching their 24/7 trading May 29th. May 29th. And you know who's not that far behind them, right? The New York Stock Exchange. Now, I don't think people have been paying attention. And a lot of you are probably wondering, what do you mean? You know there are exchanges around the world, right? You know why they're going 24/7, right? Yeah, that would kind of be because crypto is 24/7. Tokenized assets, 24/7. That's what has them shook. They have to. So it's great news. Don't get me wrong. It's great news. But I think you're going to see some swings. My man, Hutanic, thanks for letting us know you invested in yourself today. I think it is highly possible we're going to see a lot of swings. Like broad. You know what I mean? Broad swings. Until it kind of settles into that 24/7 kind of thing. Because humans have to sleep. So what does that mean? The proliferation of bots, agents, whatever the hell you want to call them these days. They won't be humans. There are going to be a lot more bots out there doing trades with their own trading accounts. Yeah. Make money, go bust, but they're going to be set up to do their own trading. A few nights ago, I told you about this company called Virtus. Virtus last year, first year in full operation, last year, 51% in returns. 51%. S&P 500. S&P 500. 17. They got 51. Yeah. Agent driven. I think that's kind of a big deal. Some people might not think that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. I think traders are sitting around and saying to themselves, holy crap. More of us are going to start losing our jobs. Yeah. Truth. Not even kidding. Not pulling punches either, but you know what I mean. You have applications like OpenClaw, whatever the hell they're calling it these days, that just got bought by OpenAI. You have all kinds of things like that sprouting up. Oh, that one's great, but it doesn't have security, and ours has security. And well, yeah, theirs has security, but ours has more security, and blah, 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 blah. I know. Over exaggeration. I get it. But I want you to stop and think about this. That was the shot across the bow. I told you months ago that I had already built an agent that would go out there and tell me news, give me tokenomics, tell me everything I needed to know about whatever stock or crypto that I was interested in. I had that months ago, ages ago. And somebody else said, oh, well, we can do this agent, we can do this agent. And they built all these agents that are under this umbrella. Awesome. And then you have basically, agent swarms that each one, they all operate independently and they come together to do stuff and blah, 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 blah. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. Problem is that you kind of still need humans in that space, right? Something else that's going to wind up happening is you're probably going to have more humans having their own agents. What does that do to a lot of different marketplaces, a lot of different industries, if I can have my agent go do what I want it to do? The world is different now, right? Would 24/7 eliminate the circuit breakers? You'd need different circuit breakers. Actually, let me take that back. I don't know that you need different circuit breakers. The circuit breakers work whether the market is 24/7 or 2 hours. Right? You might have to alter the math on the circuit breakers. Here's what I mean. During the day in the United States, crazy volume, whatever. At night, though, who's going to be on there overseas? So you might need different circuit breakers. You might need additional circuit breakers. But I don't think circuit breakers go away at all. Something goes awry, you're going to have to be able to stop that stock from trading. Here's the problem. How fast things move, the speed at which these things move. There's your problem. I mean, you're talking about, algorithms that are executing trades faster than you can blink. And I mean literally faster than you can blink. Now they're going to be doing that 24/7. How do you have a standing, any kind of standing chance? What's up, A+? Thank you for letting us know you invested in yourself. But yeah, how do you have a fighting chance? How? Interesting, no? BTC ETFs will be the first to go 24/7. Are you kidding me? They will not. Go look at CME Group. They will not. We're not talking about cryptos, anything crypto related. I'm talking about stocks. And I think that 24/7. I don't know if they're going 24/7. I'm trying to think if we reported somebody like overseas going 24/7. I don't think they'll be the first, though. I think straight up is going to be stocks. Like pure stocks. 24/7? Yeah, it's going to be stocks. What does CME Group have? Stocks. Yo, 305. Did you invest in yourself today? Circuit breakers are needed because of leverage in derivative is, I don't even know what that means. Two totally different things. It's not just because of derivatives, it's because of the stock itself. Two different things that you're mixing right there. They already have overnight trading. It's nothing new. Just won't be any daily open gaps or regular hours gaps. I think you're incorrect, sir. CME Group does not trade 24/7 right now. Ta-da! We're talking about a major stock exchange going 24/7. What other stock exchange trades 24/7? Which one? Not trying to be funny. I'm being dead serious. Which one? You have extended hours trading. I believe NASDAQ is going for 24/5, not 24/7. Who else says 24/7? That's why it's big news. They're the only ones in the United States. Like I said, I can't remember if man, my nose is still stuffy. I can't remember if there's somebody overseas that has 24/7 trading. If the United States goes 24/7, so does the world? Question mark. Seriously, I mean, does it? Would that not be interesting? And if you go 24/7, at what point does the world get to trade wherever they want to trade? Yeah. I think the biggest problem with stocks is the idea that their stocks can be tokenized. And then I think the problem with the exchanges going 24/7 is that too little too late? I'm not even trying to be funny. I just wonder if that's too little too late. If I've got tokenized stocks, and here's the other part. Trading on a stock exchange is more expensive than doing tokenization, right? In most cases. So, Rick Ritchie, you're not the first one I've heard say that. there seems to be some kind of consensus around that. What I'm saying is that there is about a quadrillion, not realistic number. No, circuit breakers do not have to stop synthetic bleeding. You're talking about something else. You're talking about something else. I get it. You're not necessarily wrong, but you are talking about something else. We're talking about stocks, not derivatives. Two different things require two different answers. Similar concepts, but I think different answers. And then that's not really my problem. Don't get me wrong, it is a problem, but it's not my problem. It's not the first thing that I come up with. The first thing I come up with is, so one stock exchange goes 24/7. They all go 24/7, but you still have tokenization of stocks. If you have tokenization of stocks, why do I have to go through an exchange? Do you see what I'm saying? And there are already companies out there that do that business. The trading of stocks that are not IPO'd. Basically private companies that are not IPO'd. And does that mean that you have, when you enter that, do you have to change things? Leave derivatives over here. That's a completely different conversation. Completely different conversation. The reason why I say it's a completely different conversation is because of everything that you saw in margin call. Derivatives of derivatives. It's a completely different animal. That whole space, completely different animal. Shall not mix the two. What else happened today? XRP Ledger launched a permissioned DEX upgrade in February, the 18th, right? Yesterday. enabling regulated digital asset trading with AMM model improvements and compliance tools. Again, one of the reasons why stock markets have to rethink how they do things. I think we're on the cusp of something. I really do think we're on the cusp of something. And then back to your derivatives point, it makes you wonder what new derivatives are going to come, right? Here's another thing. Will you have the ability to move derivatives with news and information traveling at the speeds that they can travel now? Everybody at their fingertips will have applications that can do the math on your derivatives and break them down real fast. So if you're a real trader, you're going to have a bank of tools that are going to go do stuff for you, right? Makes you stop and wonder. So that whole space in derivatives where everybody thought they were clever, yeah, that I'm not saying they're going to go away, but I do think they would have to change. Some wicked stuff. Some wicked stuff. And you're at the point right now where the tools that were once only for professionals are in the hands of everybody. One fat captain. Yo, what's up? Have you invested in yourself today? You know the question. You know the question. A pause. Thank you for answering the question. We'll see if that's correct later on. So, I think as you break down each facet of trading, right, of traditional trading, you start to realize, wow, the world has changed. The tools have changed. The tools are proliferating. Not even done yet. Look at how so many things have changed, and OpenClaw's been on the market for like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, tops. Everybody thinks, oh, I'm gonna let OpenClaw do this. I'm gonna let OpenClaw do that. Yeah, good luck. Just think, a few years back, a poor man had no place on Wall Street. Damn. That's almost profound. Like, seriously. I mean, you don't even have to go a few years back. You know what I mean? That's big. That's right. Back in the day, you had to go to a broker. Right now, I'm on my phone. Insane. Like I told you before, I have my own agent. Stock research, reads charts for me, makes charts for me, and then reads them back to me. Tokenomics, deep research. Yeah. Did it with my own little hands. Didn't even need one of my developers. You know, my guys laughed at me, right? They laughed at me. They were like, you think you did something? Yup. I hire people that are smarter than me. I mean, hell, some of their kids are smarter than I am. I'm just saying. I know my kids are smarter than I am. So yeah, a few years ago, damn, that hits different. I'm not even going to play. That hits different. That's got me thinking right now. Think about this channel. Go back to this channel. Literally 4 years ago. I've been at this for 4 years. Go back, look at this channel 4 years ago. 3 years ago. What is a poor person doing? Is it easier to buy and trade stocks? Sure it is. You had Robinhood. You had a couple of different places, but you still had to know. That's wild. Sometimes I just wonder what you're talking about. So I'm thinking about how much money there is on the planet. To your point, just think about how much money there is on the planet. Most people mistake money for credit. If credit is this big, money is only this big. Actual money, actual fiat, stuff you can put your hands on. If credit is this big, this is the number that everybody's talking about. This is actual money. Just saying. Just saying. I think the world is on the cusp of massive change. Massive, massive change. A little while ago, we were talking about the AI bubble, right? Just listen. Just listen. The idea, right, that people don't know the difference between credit and actual fiat is a crying shame. Crying shame. There's a massive difference. Most of the world deals in credit. No matter what people think, the most of the world deals in credit. And most people don't understand that. The fact that that's not taught in the United States at a younger age is a crime, in my humble opinion. It's a crime. My mother used to teach me the value of a dollar. Completely different concept. The value of a dollar. So the lesson was, what can a dollar do for you? What can it get for you? My mother took the time to teach me, can you turn that dollar into $2? So I spent my whole life thinking about how to turn that dollar into $2. It bred a completely different mindset in my brain. Most people think, I'm going to make $1, I'll be able to buy this, I'll be able to do that. That's not how my brain is wired. My brain is wired that this dollar did that for me and I made $2 or $1.50 or even just $1.05, right? My mother wired my brain differently when I was a child. So I was always looking for ways to turn my money into more money. And then she started teaching me about how to do that. So when I got older, I was open to the lesson of how do I make money by doing nothing? Because you know what they say, you don't have a business if you can't walk away. If you can't go on vacation for a week and then come back to your business and everything is, okay, that's your business, you don't have a business. Wow. That's a tough nut for a lot of people to swallow. Most people that have their own business, they are their business. They can't walk away. You don't have a business. I feel that banks and Rothschilds of the world aren't going to let crypto take hold. Yeah, that's too deep of a that's too deep of a conspiracy theory thing. I don't buy into any of that. I have a prediction. Before it's all over, they will implement automatic tax payments at the point of trade via blockchain. This will save America. Are you really concerned with saving America? I'm not concerned with saving America at all. What you just said is the formula in my head is the formula to transforming the world. Transforming the world. It's just that in the United States, it's a game, right? The government can tell you how much you owe. They don't. It's a game. They don't, because they set the rules so that you will mess up. That's the game. The poor people will mess up. The rich folk, the wealthy folk, not a problem. Poor folk, oh, you're going to get caught out there. Yeah, you sent us $1,000, but it should have been 1,001. And because you're late with your payment, here's your penalty of $200. Huh? And some people are sitting there going, that's crazy. That's impossible. No, that happens like all the time. All the time. Every year. You do not catch you don't catch wealthy people having that problem. You catch poor people having that problem. Everybody who's not wealthy in the United States has that problem. So DMAC, looking at what you just said, to me, that's not saving America. To me, that is transforming the world. What goes along with that? A bit more transparency about how governments use our money. Ooh. That's the one. That's the one. How are you using our money? At the speed at which things happen, now you have a chance to change things. Big difference. And let me tell you something. The same way that you can collect your money at point of trade, or you can attempt to do that, that's where you're going to have problems. No, not just collecting the money. I mean, take your idea and just look at it from a higher level. Don't change the idea. Just look at it from a higher level. Just look at it from a higher level. Each one of the more sophisticated countries suffer from the same problem. So apply that idea around the world. This country, this country, this country, this country, that country. See what I mean? That's what I mean. I get what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. I don't know that they'll collect more money, though. Because if you're collecting at point of transaction, how did you get there? How did you get to that point? Well, you had to have a whole bunch of people agree to that. You have to have a whole bunch of people agree to that. Because you're just going to snatch my money right there on the spot. Easier said than done. But if you can do it, you're not going to be taking as much. And what happens on the other side? You're going to have to freaking show me how you're using my money. And wait 4 years? Yeah, no, we're not going to wait 4 years. If you're scamming, you're stealing, you're doing something like this, there will be ramifications, and they should be immediate. Immediate. I'm just saying. I think that your idea doesn't apply only in the United States. I think it applies in so many countries around the world. And it's going to breed a certain level of transparency, because if it doesn't, the same way that you could snatch at that point is the same way that, well, you can hide it too. For real, for real. Let's see. Businesses will have I don't think so. I think your idea is flawed. I think it's a good idea, but I think it's flawed. I don't think it's necessarily checks and balances on the state. I think you start at the top. You have to start at the head. Checks and balances here. Then checks and balances at the state. Then checks and balances down here. We don't even collect the money that we're owed now the way we're supposed to in the United States. Yeah. We don't even collect all the money that we're supposed to collect right now, the way we're supposed to. Problem. Massive problem. But you have somebody like Neil Kashkari come out here and talk about how Bitcoin is useless. Stable coins are useless. They're both of them stupid. Literally. I'm trying to look for the quote. Calling Bitcoin and stablecoins lacking tangible utility compared to AI tools like ChatGPT. That statement alone makes me want to say Neil Kashkari should go get a different job. I'm dead serious. Go get a different job. Lacks utility compared to something like ChatGPT. A flawed technology, by the way. Nobody's going to say that out loud, but it is absolutely a flawed technology. And there's nothing they can do about it. What gets you to AGI is going to be a completely different technology. Completely different. Not kind of different. Not this with a couple of changes. No, it's going to be a completely different technology. Period. Do I think that in the United States we should collect taxes at the register? Sure. Which includes if you're buying a stock, trading a stock, whatever, yeah, you collect your money right there. But I think the math behind it all it is necessary to change. The idea of raising taxes, the idea of all that, just I think it's different. The way they collect taxes is flawed. You are so kind, sir. You are so kind. Everyone have digital wallet in the next 5 years. That's true. But whose wallet? Everybody will have whatever wallet they're going to use. And the biggest issue is going to be to ensure that I'm not beholden to a single wallet. Get my drift? Why am I so against CBDCs, for example? Because that would mean that they have control over whether or not I could trade my CBDCs for crypto or for Dairy Queen. Like, you're too fat, fool. You can't have no damn Dairy Queen. You can spend your money at the gym. Dead serious. No, you will have a government wallet if you want to buy, sell, trade. Good luck with that. Tokenized assets, good luck with that. The opportunity to lock things down at that level, to have that kind of big brother control, yeah, that passed. Trust Wallet is a trendsetter and speeding the process up. What process? What process? Because DMAC, I think you're absolutely wrong. The opportunity for them to do something like that, good luck. Good luck. That kind of, that kind of overseer approach to things. Yeah, nah, I don't think so. I do not think so. I think the wallets will be out there for sure. But having that level of control, yeah, I don't think so. I think that's going to be a problem for the government to try to pull off. And they don't have enough smart people in the government to be able to pull that off. And that would also mean that you would have to change a lot of laws in a lot of states. Think Wyoming. Think Nevada. You'd have to change some laws in a few states. Oh, that's right. You would have to enable that around the world. Because that would say that you can only do that with this wallet, and who gets to have one of those wallets? That means you would close off the United States to the rest of the world, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Will the wallets come? Sure. But that kind of reach, I don't think so. Bet you a glass of wine. Let no crisis go to waste. And if there isn't one, they will create one. I hear you, but I don't know. Yo, Unitech, what's good? Did you invest in yourself today? Not talking to you until you answer that question. I get your point, though. You're not necessarily wrong with that. Not necessarily wrong. I mean, it might be a bottle, but yeah, it's going to be a bet. Can't stop stealth custody by law. They would want to change the law. What stops them from changing the law? It's not all of us. It's all of them. Be like, have you lost your mind? So you could track my money? Done lost your damn mind. That will be the reaction. You done lost your damn mind. Can't put a finger on how much money so-and-so has. But of course, Unitech, you got jokes. No, you got to say it. You know the rule. You got to say it. You come online. You want me to talk to you? You got to say it. Get with it. Get with the program. You can't move it to another node or minor, man. Come on, you're talking nonsense now. You can't move it to another node or minor. It has nothing to do with a node or a minor. It has everything to do with the wallet that you're using. Right? So if that kind of wallet came out, they can lock down that wallet. If you're forced to use such a wallet, they can lock down that wallet. Nothing could leave that ecosystem. Think Apple. That's right. Why would you ask me that kind of question? Were you silly? You've got to be joking me with that kind of question. Rick Ritchie. Rick Ritchie is a brother from another mother for real. My man, Unitech, thank you for that. So, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things that can happen. I mean, DMAC is not wrong. There will be a wallet. There will be a wallet. How far-reaching will that wallet be? I don't think it'll be that far-reaching. I think they might try, but it's not going to work. It's already out of pocket. It's already out of pocket. You know what I mean? It's way out of pocket. I don't have to say what I'm invested in. That's still silly. I tell people I share with I share with everybody what I'm interested in, what I'm doing my research with, or for. Why would I tell people what I have and have not? I mean, sometimes when I'm doing news, I'll let you know, hey, I have a bag of that. The same way that if you're listening to somebody on television and they're talking about, a particular stock, they will say, hey, I own that stock, or I trade that stock, or I, analyze that stock or that sector. That's me being honest. But I don't tell people what I actually have. That's ridiculous. That's silly. I might say what I'm interested in, what I'm doing research on. But that kind of a question, maybe you don't realize, but that kind of a question is a little it's a little over the top, is what I'll say. More news. Mantra's OM token rose 45% in 7 days, even though there's a potential vote coming rather, that could see it be delisted from Hyperliquid. Mantra's been moving in the wrong direction for a long time. So the fact that it has done something now, woohoo, I guess. Right? So a delisting would not be good. Astra's not doing well either. But I think Astra has I think that there are a lot of tokens that are out there. People are talking like, "Oh, it's so bad." And then no, relax. Compared to some of these other tokens that have gone down to like 1%. Like, are you serious? Sometimes the articles that I read are just too over the top. They're too sensational. It's, what's the fact? Yeah, drop this amount. That's fine. Could be delisted. That's fine. Will it be delisted, though? Don't know. Will there be a vote coming? Maybe. But Mantra has grown a lot since it started. So can it make a comeback? I see other coins making comebacks. Why can't Mantra? And Mantra's not dropping all that far. But I'm saying this in general when I hear about certain tokens. I'm kind of like, really, people? This is what you're talking about? Oh, this token really sucks. It's like the whole market is down, buddy. What are you talking about? Where are you going with this? So that's why I asked the question. Sometimes I think people are insane. D Bluey, what's up? Thank you for letting us know you invested in yourself today. You know how important that is to me. You know how much that's important to me. Damn, Rick Ritchie off the top rope. Damn. Love that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Strike is killing it. Don't know anything about it. It's not on my list. I didn't see a post in Big Baggers about it either, so don't even care about it. You get the point. I'm sure you get the point. Again, tonight's question. What tokenized stocks platform just smashed $25 billion? We should answer that now. 8 pause. What is it? 13 votes. Not bad. Come on, somebody take a guess. It's Kraken's X stocks. I've been talking about Kraken for a while, for months. When they started going on their buying spree, I've been talking about them for a while. Last night I went into every facet that they own. They just bought another tokenization company, Magna. They are shoring up each line of business that they have. Kraken's not playing games. For everybody that's not paying attention to Kraken, and when I say everybody, I mean all the financial institutions that are not paying attention to Kraken. Kraken is saying, we're not overhiring. We're not getting into spaces that we don't understand. But when we choose a space, we're going deep. That's what they're doing. And they're a bank. All this stuff, and they're a bank. Oof. Now I know why I keep talking about, well, who's going to buy Arkham Digital? You're just going to let that die? You're just going to let that die? Seriously? You can get that for pennies on the dollar, and you're going to let Arkham Digital die? 3 million users. 3 million users, and you're just that's it. If no financial institution buys Arkham Digital, I will forever think them all stupid. Seriously. What do you get if you get your hands on Arkham Digital? 3 million users, trading volume, and the right to say that we are directly involved in crypto. There's more damage being done by crypto going into traditional finance than traditional finance going into crypto. Whenever you hear about traditional finance going into crypto, what's the first feeling that you get? It's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer. I'll tell you mine. Mine is, oh, you're trying to catch up. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so cute. That's what I think. That's what I think. They thought these little companies were going to sit there and do nothing. Wouldn't amount to anything. Can't touch us. And now you're seeing all of these tiny little companies come off the top rope and knock the shiznit out of these traditional companies. Big meetings down in Mar-a-Lago. Why? Because they're all pooping in their pants. That's why. Tiny little crypto, tiny little crypto. And then you turn around and you say, holy moly, out of nowhere, all these tiny little companies literally are doing way more with way less. These crypto companies, they don't carry a lot of fat. Their decisions have to be tried and true. They have to be sure-footed about everything that they're talking about, everything that they want to do. Kraken going out and buying Magna, another tokenization company, of course, makes sense, right? Rock solid in that space. Been rock solid since they launched X Stocks, since they bought that out and launched X Stocks, rebranded. Coinbase doing their thing. Even Binance coming out and doing all kinds of things through different arms that they have. Yeah. If you're a traditional institution, you should also be looking at Tether. Why? They're not direct competition. They are competition. They're showing you what you should be doing like all the freaking time. They're sitting on one of the world's largest cash registers, and then taking that money, taking that value, taking that dollar and turning it into $2 by investing in all these other things. And all these traditional companies, they're not moving nearly as fast. Not moving nearly as fast. Kraken is intuitive. Coinbase, it takes so much time to it doesn't matter. Coinbase is still number one. For how long? Kraken really is intuitive. I haven't used Kraken in a long time, but every time I go look at the platform, I'm like, damn. Every time I look at the services that they offer, damn. It's a wake-up call. It is a serious wake-up call. It's insane. So when I look at everything that's going on, I'm looking at Kraken and I'm just going, imagine the amount of money they'll draw from an IPO. Now think about, yeah, everybody gets paid out and all that good stuff, but I want you then to think about, what are they going to do with all that money? That's the one. What are you going to do with all that? I'll see more Kraken ads. I will choke if I see a Kraken bank branch open up. I will probably pass the hell out in front of people. Banks don't want to keep up with the times. They will get left behind. They will get left behind. No, they won't get left behind. They'll be divvied up. You ever think about that? They'll be divvied up. Now, here's the biggest insult that I could possibly think of. You're correct. Think about it like that. You're correct. They'll get left behind. I don't need to buy you. There's an article out right now. Let me see if I can find my quote. Bear with me. Anchorage Digital, Dash, XRP, Mantra, Fed Reserve, UAE, Accenture. So much news to pour through. I can't find the quote right now, but there's a quote out there right now. Not a quote, but a report out there right now that says community banks are losing money to Coinbase. Losing money to Coinbase. When Kraken goes IPO, I think the number one company that's going to poop on themselves is going to be is going to be Coinbase. I think that's the company that's going to make Coinbase go, oh shit. Kraken's not playing a short game. Kraken is absolutely playing a long game. But back to your point, 8 pause. Yeah. One way or another, banks that don't move will get left behind. And when they get left behind, that just means they're going to get divvied up. Some customers will go here, some customers will go there. But the longer it takes them, the less of an opportunity there is to actually sell your businesses. Because why? Why would I buy that? I'm going to get your business anyway. For real. A lot of people back in the day, yo, what's going on? Thank you for letting us know you invested in yourself. That's my man PHX. And yo, Chicano, haven't seen you in a minute. Have you invested in yourself today? You know the answer. You know what's up. So back in the day, as I was saying, back in the day, people were questioning why Microsoft wouldn't buy WordPerfect. The answer was, why? Why? I'm going to get your business anyway. And what happened? They did. All that business went to Microsoft. Why should I buy you? I'm going to sit back in my owner's lounge, sip something, and watch as your users jump ship and come over to me. That's evil. I said before that what we have coming is a great culling, right? And a great consolidation. Two things. The culling will be not just cryptos, but traditional finance. Bye. You're going to go out of business. And everything that you have, these other places that offer that stuff, they'll just pick up the slack. Bye. Yep. No, we're not going to buy you. Imagine going to the United States government when they say, you got to buy this company. And they just sit there and just go, no, we're not buying that. I'm not buying that. I'm going to get all that business for free. I'm not buying jack. Nothing. And then the consolidation. Those that started moving too slow start pooling resources, becoming a single entity, shedding, unnecessary weight so that they can remain competitive, so that they can grow. We'll see who does it right. So far, all of these companies have done it wrong. You could have bought Kraken years ago. Think about this. You could have snatched up Kraken eons ago. Zero Hash, you should have tried to buy Zero Hash 2 years ago. So Zero Hash wound up telling MasterCard, nah, I'm good. I'm good. But then you have Arkham Digital and Gemini, who seems to be unable to stop that face plant. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to be able to stop that face plant. You've exited two of the hottest markets in the world, UK and EU, and you fired 200 people. Your chief financial officer, your chief operating officer, and your chief legal officer have all flown the coop. Yet I haven't heard anything about NASDAQ saying, oh, we'll take that. That would be an interesting move. That would be an interesting move. NASDAQ taking over a crypto exchange? What? Yeah, now that would be interesting. You got 24/7 trading. You got 24/7 trading. We have a crypto exchange. And because we're an exchange, tokenization becomes like a cakewalk, right? Damn. Traditional finance is falling the hell apart. They all flew down to freaking Mar-a-Lago to go kiss butt. They're all trying to flex in front of all these tiny little crypto companies, except they're not so tiny. they're not so tiny. They're all at that age where, yeah, I have a big brother, I have a big sister, and now I can whoop their butt. They just don't realize it yet. That one right there. That one right there. Right? Oh, man. That's some evil stuff that you're looking at. Evil stuff. Why did HB buy Compaq and Palm? Because they were stupid. Serious. They didn't buy them and go innovate. When was the last time you saw Microsoft innovate? When was the last time you saw Apple innovate? You haven't in years. We'll just do these stupid little upgrades that don't mean anything. Samsung's had a better camera for what, a decade? They haven't innovated. None of them have. So you're looking at desktop applications being laughed at. Why do I need a desktop application? World is changing, and a lot of companies haven't caught the hell up. They haven't realized that this is a problem. Massive, massive problem. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I did, what I do, what my team does. And if you do me a favor, smash the likes. It really helps the algorithm. And absolutely, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the Crypto Overflow. For the Crypto Daily. Damn, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. I'm still fighting that cold. I'm still fighting it. I'm trying to, it came and I'm trying to keep it light. Still fighting. Anyway, thank you so much. Everybody, see you tomorrow morning. Have a good one. Be safe. Bye-bye.